Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Link to the Past Randomizer League match in casual boots. Tonight we have In the Name of DT representing WJPDTB and Hey Ahab representing He Came From. I believe this is the first match between these two. Not entirely sure, but we got casual boots this week, which is boots with a starting standard with a boots and a sword. DT playing with his usual. Well, he sometimes plays with a tile. Today he's playing with cursor. Chat, you can try and tell me what the. I don't know what Ahab sprite is, so someone could tell me that. And we got somebody trying to move the DT cursor with his mouth. Probably because yeah. That is the thing. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Homemade Beer. How are you doing, Beer?
Hey, Tracy, I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to some casual boots. Nice, easy seed, hopefully, and runners get the items they want.
We had quite the Jess seed earlier this afternoon that I called. So, a 108 that could have been probably a sub 1 if you do things a little bit differently. So, see what we got here.
Yeah, cool. Okay, here we go. Let's see. We'll just got to get this synced up in a bit. We're a little bit off, but that's okay.
Just arrows to start with. And for those of you that haven't seen the cursor sprite before, there are some really fun bits to that cursor sprite. Little details, like as you saw, they had the little double arrow thing going on while Link is lying in his bed. This is one I find one of the most fun sprites. It's one I would never, ever, ever use because you have to learn to use it, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, for a while I could only use the Link sprite because that's where I learned all the tricks, right?
Yeah. I still use a recolored version of the Link sprite, so I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to learn on a different shape, but I have tunic color Link, which is very pretty. So
yeah,
a prettier green and a nice pretty blue, and then even the red's not so bad, though I'm not much of a red person.
It's not like the one where all the males are like backwards and it's.
No, that would drive me nuts. Okay, so didn't get a whole lot from the uncle.
Yeah, got bombs start. Don't hate that, right?
Yeah, getting bombs early. I mean, we don't need them in the castle per se, but having them, so you don't have to worry about them in Kakariko is super nice. So, we'll shout out the bombs, I guess. Gonna get a key and a map somewhere. And a piece of heart.
All right. Just moving on through. Classic escape. So what do we talk about during escape? What's the coolest thing that's on the menu for Link to the Past lately?
Well, I don't know. I know this is the part of the game that. Okay. Hey. Oh wait, that's just a small key. We need to get one of those.
We can talk about how the key is orange if it comes from a chest.
It was, yeah.
In its own dungeon.
It's a little bit different color.
That's a noticeable thing that you can kind of use to your advantage. Very rarely in like keys modes. I don't know.
Yep. I mean, we get our entrance modes coming up. With a little bit of retrance next week, and cross keys. I want to say cross keys is like what, week 6? I don't think they put them back to back.
Yeah, I think retrance is. Well, we have 2 weeks of retrance because of SpeedGaming Live coming up here in next week.
Yeah, I'm glad they did that because I will be at SpeedGaming Live, and I would be very sad if I completely missed retrance week.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm going to be there too for the first time ever. So
woohoo!
Forward to that.
Oh, there's that map.
Yeah, so I think then swordless is after cross keys.
Right, that sounds right.
With pseudo boots.
Yeah, the swordless is going to be interesting because we've never. I guess we had it in the playoffs last year, but
yeah, that's right.
A week of swordless is going to be interesting.
Was it just swordless, or was there like a MC shuffle or a hard mode or any?
I feel like it was just. I think it was just swordless, but this was a year ago. I don't.
Yeah, I honestly don't even remember either.
Okay,
oh,
and
careful.
Yeah, dying in the escape is a very, very bad thing.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I feel like we haven't seen. I haven't watched a ton of league matches this week. For casual boots, I've watched a few, but some of the more things that you hope for is getting a mirror early, so you can just mirror once you pick up Zelda and go back to the front.
Yeah, one thing that's become a bit of a trend is we've seen several bow lock bows.
Yeah.
I think there were two of them yesterday. The one I called today had a bow lock bow. One player was getting the Ganon hint right before the other player was in pod picking up the silvers. But the
rush
earlier,
pod, right?
Yeah, there was an earlier race today where the bow lock bow involved pod, but there was this big chain which I won't go into. Watch the VOD. Where the Bolog bow was behind like fire and flute and other things.
Oh man,
it was an absolutely ridiculous chain.
Oh yeah, look at that. We got a French vanilla boomerang as pointed out in chat.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice early item. We could check a stun prize and see if that helps us at all.
Yeah, I think boomerangs are one of those underrated items. Oh well, there you go.
That's a boring stun prize.
Yeah.
Well, if we run out of arrows in GT, we have a way of getting more. Hey, more bombs. That's good.
Yeah.
And we have enough money that we don't have to worry about bottle vendor. And with 6 bombs, we don't really have to worry about buying bombs because we have a sword for Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the fun part about it. One of the fun parts about this mode, starting with the sword. You know, yeah, like you said, you don't have to worry about killing things.
Yep.
You have a permanent weapon.
Yeah, it does lead to some more Agassiz, and so far that hasn't really shown up, at least not in the races I've seen. Some of them have come awfully close. Oh, hey, you've got a lamp and a sword, which is coming next, your cape/sword or your hammer, and it just hasn't happened.
It's like trying to make you do Aga. It's trying to convince you that Aga needs to be done, and then the last thing you find is like another glove. Okay.
I saw a pendant in desert. I want to say the other 2 were crystals, but I would not swear by it.
That looks right to me.
I definitely saw a blue pendant in desert, so yeah, we're not really looking to do desert today, I'd say.
I actually caught it on the restreams that's pulled up on the side, so I was like, oh, cool. I completely missed that anyone did a map check the first time. But
they should like warn us. They should warn us when you do map checks. We know to look.
They need to like put a thing on their stream that shows.
I have no idea what that was. I saw red, so it's probably a rupee. I hope it's a rupee, but it could have been a cane of Samaria potentially. I'll assume it's a rupee until we see otherwise. Looks like Aab's gonna check it too, so hopefully we'll get a better look on his side.
Nope.
Okay, it's definitely a rupee.
There it is.
It's funny because you can see just the 1 pixel, which actually was even less than we saw on DT side. So just move up a little further so we can see. Those rupees will sit and rot there forever and ever.
Yeah, no one's going for that. So so far we haven't found a single item. Well, no, sorry, I take it back. We got a
boomerang.
That's good. That's worth calling out.
Important.
I think I even just said how much I like boomerangs. So.
Yeah, we get to do the GT strat with the boomerang and the hook shot, assuming this doesn't end up being a hover seat.
I mean, yeah, we already have 1 pennant, so odds are getting slimmer, but we've definitely seen more than 1 hover seed so far this week, right? I think Zen Arcane and who's his opponent? Not sure at the moment, but had one. And oh, look, there's a book.
And a shield, because we need shields.
Oh, JP. It couldn't have been. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we got a shield now. We got a book.
I mean, if you're going to get a book, get it early. Book is not my favorite item. It's one of those things where I like it to be in GT, and I just never have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's one of those that, like you said, if you find it early, it makes doing checks convenient when you're in an area. But going back for book checks is
late book. I did get a seed once that I called with a book on ped. And a funny story. There's
oh no.
there was a person in chat. I have no idea who it was. So apologies if you're embarrassed by this or don't enjoy it. But kept asking every race, oh, book on ped, book on ped, book on ped. There's gonna be a book on ped. And then finally, when it happened, I told you so. And I'm like, okay, well, if you say it every time, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
We do get a Moon Pearl.
Broken clock is right twice.
Right, yeah. We do get a Moon Pearl, so that's really nice.
Yeah, it gets us opportunity to do Zora stuff earlier. We have enough cash for it. Especially Ahab is like making sure to farm. Some rupees here.
The Moon Pearl, we don't currently have anything for, say, a splash delete or something on the ledge. So with the Moon Pearl, you could do the double water walk setup where you get the second water walk stored with the fake flipper.
I feel like we saw an opportunity for that earlier, but they didn't have the Moon Pearl. Oh, we're getting a ped check.
I mean, you got the book.
Yeah.
This is really big if it's something, but I don't know if I would check ped this early. I mean, chances are, there's a good chance you're going to be in Skull Woods with a mirror, you hope.
Yeah. And we have a cape now too, so we're getting close to that Aga call. And a rupee horde.
I mean, if it had been something, then, I have huge advantage. But a rupee horde, like, it's good to know, but
Yeah. Oh, wow. That thief was like, I want your bombs.
Those thieves are so annoying. Okay, so DT probably going to do this typical South Shore. Didn't really get anything to lead him anywhere else. Maybe takes the book over to Desert. What he could do, like he's going to do, looks like he's going to do the dam first. Some runners with the book will run over west from here.
Yeah, that's kind of.
You could do that with the book.
You could do dam into desert, but like obviously you want glove, fire, things like that. Or if it's a pendant, maybe you really don't care and you just go and.
Yeah, I mean, you hope you don't have to do landmo, and it's not even green pendants, so you could maybe get your 2 items and go, and maybe one is important. I do know some people that will go to the go to Desert and Aegina if they decide to pick up the item from the dam, the flooded item.
Nice powder there.
Yeah, powder, my favorite luxury item.
Yeah,
here we go.
Yeah.
DT is gonna do it. Didn't pick up the bombs though. Those bombs will, not that they would have done anything for him because he's got 10. But
I mean, if you have auto tracking on, it marks off a thing you don't need to click. It saves you a click.
And if if he goes to swamp later on and is low on bombs, this is an early check with bombs. You can pick them up then. I don't think I've ever seen that, but that would be an interesting use for those bombs if that ever came up.
Yeah, just if you have like exactly 0 bomb. Oh my goodness, a shovel. This is kind of a seed so far, isn't it?
Yep, we've definitely got some interesting. We haven't gotten a mushroom yet. Nice to get the powder before the mushroom because you don't have to think about fake powder or anything like that.
Definitely. So Tracy, I have a question. What's your thoughts on doing Saha early? Like, you don't necessarily have to go in Eastern, but just getting Saha out of the way. I know a lot of people will kind of save it to last and try and get into Dark World, do it later. Like, what do you think?
I like to do, like, I can see doing it after South Shore. To me, Mini Moldorm Cave with the 5 items, Dam with 2 items, even Ice Rock Cave, especially with the casual boot start, making water walking basically free to do when you want to do it. Not a huge fan. I don't think it's necessarily a bad play, but I kind of rather go to Saha if my intent is to go to Eastern, either because I have the items for Eastern or because I'm kind of low on things to do, and that's 2 or 3 more items. Oh, hey, glove.
Glove.
That's a good thing. And a Master Sword. Okay. And mitts. Okay, well, that's cool. Dark World access. It's Thanks, awful Dark World access, but we Aga could still be logically required for some, because we don't have flippers to get to the East Dark World yet, but.
Like, we thought the seed was getting slow for a minute, and then boom, there's like every item you need. Let's go.
Well, interesting. Ahab was routing to go start Mini Moldorm and work his way west to Desert. Have we found anything in Desert? Is there anything here?
There was a 20 rupee that was in the map chest, and then nothing else.
Yeah, I don't think we've gotten anything.
So yeah, there's either an item on the big chest or the map at this point.
So
curious if Ahab goes there. He might just leave, like just go to the Dark World.
Because he's got mitts. It's a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Of course, mitts. Dark
there you
go,
taking that bomb.
Not the best thing ever.
Might actually be the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Some people might say it's not something I enjoy. Oh wow,
Oh, but
okay.
there's a mirror. Okay, that's. I mean, we
That's
don't know what
required.
our.
The
We don't
book's
know.
required to get that, right?
Oh yeah. The book is required to get that. Let's see. The only way. I mean, it's possible the mirror is not required because we do have. We don't know yet whether Swamp Palace is a pendant or a crystal.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
don't know whether we won't need to mirror into desert because we had the book, and we don't know where the hook shot is. We might not need the mirror for the mountain, but really, you want to have the mirror early.
Yeah.
Not so, not as quite the same level as the book, but late mirror just leaves all sorts of orphan checks.
Oh yeah, it's like the worst finding it late, but then it being required.
Mhm.
So that was interesting. I thought that was actually an interesting play just now. DT kind of rushed the shovel, finding that in Nagina's cave. That might be like hey, my opponent probably didn't, go west. So let me see if I can push an advantage that might happen here. But just finding a piece of heart. So
now, going to be interesting to see what DT does after he gets his double mitts here or double glove here.
with that mirror, that's actually makes it a lot more, good to go into the dark world because then there's a lot more stuff you can clean up the first time, like you were saying.
Yeah. We'll completely orphan Ice Rod Cave if he chooses to. It looks like Ahab's already completely orphaned Ice Rod Cave. Plus, we do have close to Zora money. 480. Just need 20 more rupees, so he could just dig, the rock over near Ice Rod Cave if he wants to have money for Zora.
That's true. Yeah, because
So-
there's $20 each time, right?
Yep. So could do that, and let's see. He's gonna go at least to Ice Rock Cave. We'll see what he does beyond that. This is the only way. This is. I mean, you get a flute later. You can come back here. We did see the seed I called earlier had a flute here. So if you missed it, it was kind of bad.
All right, I have got that. That's the second item. Might have just not checked Desert Ledge, and that's what
that
this
could
is
be.
here.
Because I mean, even if he wanted to finish the dungeon for whatever reason, he can't. He knows will never. He's the one that checked ped, and it's a blue pendant, so there's absolutely nothing here for him, and he knows it.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Whereas DT, what? Okay.
Oh,
hasn't done it. Okay, hasn't done a Gina. Okay, now it all makes sense. Oh, hello, Lamp. Well, we know it's not gonna be an Agassiz. We can sequence break that lamp now.
Yeah,
that's actually a pretty easy sequence break with a water walk near Skull Woods. I don't know that you do it right now.
But probably not your first priority. Definitely,
but it is definitely,
undermined.
It would definitely be on my mind to possibly do that. If I need the lamp for, I mean, really, even just it doesn't even take that long because you can set up the water walk and you just run across and go get it.
So. Okay, this is actually really interesting.
No, he's not
DT is not doing Zora.
Not doing Zora. Gotta prioritize the out of logic. Man under the bridge. I kind of would rather see Zora. This check absolutely sucks. It's one of my least favorite.
Ooh, a fire rod on King's Tomb there.
Yeah.
Maybe using the boots water walk advantage to try to make this faster. Gonna consider Zora with Catfish later or something. I don't know.
Zora's the in logic thing. Okay, we got a Quake. It's a TBD. And we know we're gonna get flippers. Like it doesn't even matter whether ice and swamp or pendants or crystals at this point. Flippers have to be available because the lamp has to be available before GT. There is a layout, and I want to see it sometime. There is a with the fire rod torch logic. There is a layout you can have that allows for a lamp in GT, and I want to see that seed. I can comment that I had that in an ad keys in the ad keys tournament in my last race. Yeah, the lamp was in rando room. Nice.
It was.
Yeah, I mean it takes pendant pod, mire, and turtle rock, and the Eastern Palace big key cannot be vanilla.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was a funny, just real quick, like thinking about it. I recognized Lamp was kind of late on the seed, so I just started skipping dark checks, and then I ended up getting kind of hurt by that and lasso-cated GT big key.
Oh no!
But it was funny though, because I was like, oh, the lamp's just doesn't exist, so I'm gonna pretend like it doesn't, and then got to GT. I'm like, well, there's the lamp.
Funny. So a little unfortunate that DT did not choose to check King's Tomb because Ahab's going to be able to finish this dungeon and DT is not, since he does not have that fire on.
Yeah. And it is a red crystal. So interestingly, now we're in a situation where Ahab can get both red crystals, and DT might get it on the way to check Graveyard Ledge, and then be like, shaking his head a bit, and got to go back and beat this now.
Yeah, interestingly enough, that is the one way that we could still end up with a logical Aga seed.
Yeah,
that is a hammer and Pyramid Fairy, one of chat's favorites.
Well, it's funny because when you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, there's not even any like logical Aga. Like, that's a bummer. And then we saw this, like, well, okay, we just gotta find the Thieves Town small key.
Thieves Town small key has to not be in the big chest, which I always find it funny that the layout that you want most if you're going to do Thieves Town without the hammer is the one that it makes it not logical to finish the dungeon.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, please put the small key in the big chest, please.
Yeah, force you to go back and anyway. Oh, there's another small key. So there's another item. Let's see. Oh, there's the other small key. Yeah, unclear. There could be an item now anywhere. It's probably the big key on Moth or in the big chest, I think, with this layout.
Or it could be, there's 100 rupees.
There's 100 rupees. Wait, was big key chest an item? I feel like it was, but I don't remember now.
I don't remember.
No, I guess not, because DT is doing.
I think it was I think the big key was vanilla. That may have been. Oh, hey, we got lots of money now. All the money in the world. Okay, let's see what DT does next, because he has a few options. He could go with that mirror. He could do all the North Dark World checks, because he may not want to do Thieves Town without the hammer. He could go into Village Outcasts. Cape could gives us Bumper Ledge, so I like that he is at least going to scout this out. Probably gets the Fire Rod if he stays up north, because he'll probably mirror into it. Yeah,
I think so. So we got no safety Moth going on right now with Sword Beams, but Ahab's kept him at bay so far. I mean, Sword Beams kind of actually doing work, like, unintentionally.
Yeah. I mean, the Sword Beams do damage. Not a lot of damage, but they do, Sword Beams will do damage to Moth and to Blind. Why just those two? I don't know. They're also, not coincidentally, they're also the enemies that will take damage to Fighter Sword, because Sword Beams are essentially Fighter Sword. I personally like using Fire Rod as much as I can if I don't have a better sword here, but...
Yeah, this is getting pretty precarious. I think he's got to only have 1 or 2 more hits. Like, oh no, that spike right to the face. That feels bad.
No.
Yeah, this is one of those where you don't want to go back in with 0 magic. But you're kind of there, like, it's a red crystal.
Well, I mean, he has to get some magic to be able to even get there.
Yeah, you got to do this room twice and farm it.
And DT's going to get that Fire Rod and feel kind of bad. I don't think he rushes back to... He got both items out of Skullwoods. There's absolutely no reason for him to rush back there until he's ready to also do Thieves Town.
Yeah, and that's the part that you have to consider now in his perspective of, do I think Pyramid Fairy is a thing? Like, early.
Yeah, I mean...
Can I wait a bit?
Yeah, and of course, we won't have logical Pyramid Fairy access until we either kill Aga or until we get a hammer, so... he is going back that direction.
Flippers blocks Pyramid Fairy, huh? That's weird. Unless we find a hammer like that.
Yeah. Okay, so... I mean, Flippers logically doesn't. It's the I mean, I guess it blocks it doing it with Aga, so potentially that's
exactly. The weird,
yeah, that is kind of weird
because of the weird lamp access. It's kind of funny. All right, Ahab making damn sure to get that magic that he needs for this fight. Which I don't blame him. Like, you got to know your limits, right? Like, if you know that, hey, I like having a full bar going in, I want to make sure this fight goes well for me. That's what you should do, you know. Because a lot of runners might like take risks and no, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But if you know your limits, like, play within them.
So DT is going to go ahead and do this Moth fight as well. He's not really any better off. Probably gets the news about Ped after this. So no,
like
he never has
earlier,
to go back
he had
and
the mirror in the book. Yeah.
Mirror in the book, so he gets a better Ped check. We'll know he never has to go back to Desert. Interesting
yeah,
enough, I just realized, yeah,
Reservation
we
is good.
don't even, I didn't even catch, our pendants are Mire and Turtle Rock, so we don't even need a Cane of Samaria.
Oh boy, that's
Yeah, it's that, I
one
mean,
of the
unless
scariest
the
things in a
big
seed.
key, yeah,
Yeah. Oh
I,
wow, nice spin there.
I actually sometimes will, if I get a Cane of Samaria, especially if I get one that's not quite on path in a pendant situation like this, I might rush the right side because why is that? Why did I get this Cane of Samaria?
And you find out there's just a small key in tile room.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, no, I'm with you though. You feel like, it's one of those like, hey, this is kind of out of the way, push an advantage. Like,
Yep.
let's see if it does anything. All right, so good start so far. Get a early crystal out of the way, like one that I don't know. Skullwoods is weird, like especially in open modes. It's a dungeon that really feels out of the way. You never want to go back there if you're doing stuff. Like, hopefully you can beat it and flute away, but in this case, if it's your first dungeon in the Dark World, that feels pretty good too.
Okay, see, now we get the ped check. Meanwhile, Ahab hasn't gotten either of his items. We'll get him pretty quickly here, though. Yay, Rupee Horde! And DT, we'll see if he chooses... okay. Didn't go back into the portal. I think it's actually a little bit faster to approach it this way. Although it's a little more true if you go into the hammer side instead of the mid side. Because you have to... I mean, normally you love having mitts for this portal because it's much faster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because
if you're coming back from ped, it's actually... I don't know what the difference is, but it feels like it'd be a little bit faster to come into the hammer side.
Yeah, that's interesting, because he already did all the East Dark World stuff, and I think that's the major difference he was thinking, right?
Yeah, like if he wanted to do more East Dark World stuff, he could do it with the Water Walk. So he could do Catfish and Zora. He could do the Water Walk for Skullwoods is very, very easy. The thing I learned when I actually learned is you got to be careful. You just when you run across the hole and you're gonna bonk, and then just don't walk past the hole again because that will cancel your Water Walk.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, and I guess with the fire rod, it's like lower priority, right?
Yeah, like he's got a fire rod that he may never pick up the lamp. It depends on how convenient it'll be at any given time. We don't have to do Mire or Turtle Rock Dark Rooms, although I tend to think of the Turtle Rock Dark Room. Not everybody agrees with me, but I find it one of the easiest ones. It's also the one that you will never lose time on because it's just a rail. It's like a side scroller. In like Mario Brothers or something. Where it's always going to be the same speed no matter what. So.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the ones that I don't know how you describe it, but has a script, I guess is a way.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe. I don't think I've ever heard described that way, but I like it.
Because that people always talk about this script, that script, and like that room kind of has a script. You press down, you press right, you press up, whatever.
And we are going to do Thieves Town. We just saw a compass. I don't know what the first thing was. The big thing we're going to pay attention to is there a small key? Because no matter what the front looks like, if you don't have a small key, it'll be 50-50 that we can even get to the big chest.
So, Tracy, in this situation, do you beat Thieves Town? Do you go all the way back?
Let's see what this last item is here first. Yeah, 2-item front, no small key. I'm continuing. I'll take my chances that.
I definitely hear very differing opinions on this. Is one of the. I think this feels like a more controversial one.
It's not. Well, for one thing, it's not a one size fits all. Like a lot of it, I am much more likely to bail on Thieves Town if I get that small key, even though it actually puts things in logic. Because now there's a really good chance. If I only get one item in the front, then I might bail on it then too. That's for sure. And it also depends on what other things have I done. And when do I get back here? So
yeah,
when you leave someplace,
maybe you leave, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could. It wouldn't be a bad choice necessarily to, say, hey, I've got mitts, I've got mirror, I can do Smith Chain into the South Dark World, into Hype Cave. I don't think that would be a bad play at all. But confirming that the first chest was an item, so it's a 2-item front. But in this case, I think I do it here.
Yeah.
And there's another item. So, even if we get the small key in main cell, it'll still then be 50-50. So essentially we got a 25% chance of leaving an item in the big chest.
This is kind of turning into a we said this earlier a little bit. We get out of Escape, we go to Kakariko, we find like a cape and Moon Pearl. It's like where the heck is everything? And it's kind of doing that again, We found a Fire Rod, we've done a bunch of Dark World, we haven't found anything yet. So it's either it's going to be like, was the answer to just rush Hype Cave and get 3 more progression items? Like,
it could be. We have bad mountain access. We don't have any east mountain access, but that is a thing we can do. The mountain will be in logic when we get a flute or when we get flippers. And there's that small key that
there it is.
So now 50-50 that the last item is on blind.
That never happens, right?
Never ever. There was a stretch of time when I and several friends of mine kept getting burned by medallions, go mode medallions in big chest. I have no idea why that was.
You know what's funny is that feels like what it's gonna be. That was one of my outs against someone in the main tournament last year, actually, because they had done Thieves' Town without a hammer, and there was a medallion in there that was required. So.
Yeah, a very nice blind fight from DT. And there's the last item, so we're good.
Easy. Yeah. And but that also puts Pyramid Fairy in logic.
It does. Flippers. Well, no. We actually have to be with the flippers that would put lamp, so yeah, the flippers would put it in logic. Obviously the hammer would as well.
Cool. 2 crystals done. Both red.
I would expect to see Dig Game, then Smiths drag that purple chest.
Yeah, and then you can get Bombos Tablet, and then you run out of stuff to do, and then you're like, man, I really wish I had gone to Eastern earlier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, doing a water walk just to get to East Dark World, whether or not you even choose to get the lamp, I think would be a pretty good play. If we're still looking for stuff at that point.
I just
in logic though.
There's a really awesome, amazing check in logic here that is super underrated.
You're
in
not
the
talking
context
about
of the seed. I'm talking about Magic Bat.
Oh yeah. We got the powder and we got a mirror.
It's one of the dumbest things
and
it can happen.
Yeah, hammer on bat is a thing that can happen. One choice DT could make is he could go and do the South Dark World and then come back if he wants to do the Magic Bat, or he can. Looks like he's just going to grab the Smith, which is fine. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that makes it awkward is the Bombos Tablet, probably. But...
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Blind down for Ahab as well. Oh, he's doing it.
He's going to do it now?
Oh, he's doing it first. Yeah, I've never seen it done first, but this is cool.
Well, he's turning that Smith, and then he can just go run back to the portal. It's not too bad.
Yeah. I guess I've never thought of doing this first. It's always just do the Smith real quick in case it's the hammer or something. I don't know. Is it? What is it? That's
boring game. Yeah, come on.
Give us some spice. Some flavor in the seed. Well, that Quake still could show up as an interesting.
Yeah, if
Flippers don't show up early.
If Meyer or TR has a thing, because when you think about it, what is even our go mode at this point? We need a bow, we need a hook shot, we need a hammer, and we need flippers. We don't need flute. We don't need cane unless GT decides to give us a right side big key.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We know where the lamp is, so that we can get it if we choose to once we get flippers. When Meyer and Turtle Rock are 2 of your crystals, that kind of eliminates a lot of things that you need.
I swear, like, people talk about different things that are scary in this game for whatever, layout of items and dungeons, but Meyer and Turtle Rock being pendants is one of the scariest things to me. Just because, like, almost everything else you can sequence break. Oh, it's a hover seed. It's a this. It's like there's something you can do to get around most things. You can't get around needing a red cane for GT, and if you hit go mode before it, that's so terrifying.
Yep.
Oh, look at this. We get the exact same routing here from Ahab. That's super cool. Both runners thinking about it. It's on their mind.
I wonder if one of them scouted the other and liked that. Like that play.
Yeah.
And of course, purple chest makes us walk. I always find it interesting how every follower in this game is a little bit different.
Right? The bomb can't jump off ledges.
There's some you can run with the smith, but you can't run with the purple chest or the bomb. I mean, you can run with the purple chest and the bomb, but that's a glitch we use with doing either a hookshot thing or there's our flippers, so that's one less thing we're looking for.
Pyramid Fairy is so in logic right now. Oh, fun.
God, I wonder if either one of them will consider sequence breaking to it and skipping the Aga play. I mean, you're not going and killing Aga right now. Like you're not
yeah.
But it's in logic. So it wouldn't be unreasonable to do the bomb dupe that'll let you skip that. And with the mirror, it's supposed to be easier.
Yeah, definitely. The mirror and flippers, you just have to I think it's okay 20-ish frames. I've heard it's not super tight.
Yeah.
15 frames. I don't know. Whatever,
I'm not 100% sure. You might even be able to combine it with picking up the lamp.
Actually, cool? That'd be great. All right, cool. It's not bombos. Yeah, we really are running. Well, I guess. Okay, hang on.
Logically speaking, we have West Death
Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, we got West Death Mountain in logic now. That's it. And we're after that we're needing to kill Aga to get to the logical stuff on the east side. So. To logically, I mean, it's all in logic because we can kill Aga. We'll skip that step most likely, assuming the runners know how to bomb dupe, which I really shouldn't assume. It's not necessarily a skill that every runner has. It so rarely comes up.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things that you either just play this game a lot or you know how to do it. And oh, there's a red cane.
There's a free cane of Samario, so now we don't have to worry about right side GT. So that's good.
Now we just have to worry about a bow and Turtle Rock or something.
Yeah, because that never happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing, DT? Oh, he's gonna get his lamp. It looks like. I mean, we can do all the East Dark World now stuff now with the flipper. So there's really no reason to even think about the bomb dupe yet. But it's got to be in the back of your mind. We still could have logical logical Agaseed because of Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, I really like it. I think it's a good play, honestly, because it's in logic with... As soon as you find the flippers, Pyramid Fairy's in logic, and that's somewhat terrifying just because of the order. Because a lot of the game is about sequencing, what order do you find stuff, and the route that they've had so far towards the items they found is hey, what's your next thing to do? Pyramid Fairy? Okay.
Okay, we're going to get a pyramid ledge check first. I assume DT will either do Pod Eastern after this or head over to Catfish and get Zora while he's at it.
Yeah, that's right, because he saved Zora earlier when he didn't have as much money and says no to the cane. He's got
cape. He doesn't need the cane.
Cape, yeah.
The cape does everything the cane... The only thing the cane does that the cape doesn't is gives you the really fun blind fight where you just stand there. And to be fair, and we might see, we'll probably see this next week in Retrance. The blue cane on Armos Nights is a lot of fun too, and not even that much slower. But we'll want to be, the runners are going to want to save some money with the rupee bow, especially in co-op where one player might get all the money and the other one might not get any of it. That is a thing that can happen.
Yeah, there's so many resources in Retrance that you have to actually care a little bit more about. That makes that mode so fun. The co-op version of it. Regular Retrance can die in a fire. I don't enjoy that mode. But no, it is a really fun mode in co-op.
And the answer is not Catfish. We're going to do Zora because we already orphaned it. So let's pick this up now. Ahab hasn't done any of the Zora area, so that'll be for him 5 checks.
I'm curious too. No, neither runner, not that they should have, but neither runner dipped Swamp Palace for the first time. Oh, well. Did I speak too
No,
soon?
I think Ahab's gonna do it.
Okay.
I
This
kind of
is
like
interesting.
this. I mean, it's just one item, but if it is the hammer, it's pretty big. And I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't have to be the hammer. It could be a bow. I mean, hook shot
Or it
would
could
be
be the
nice.
flute.
There are things that it could be that are not the hammer that still would be really nice. Oh, hi, blue mail. That's nice.
Yeah.
You know,
One of the
things are a little safer.
dumber things, it could be the flute, and then you find your Quake in your Samaria, and you have to go get your hammer and mire with that mirror you found
Yeah,
in the
you know
desert.
that is a thing that could happen. Meyer can have hammers. Okay,
Mire
so
likes to have hammers.
DT is just leaving. Let's see what he chooses to do here. Oh, I think this may be a mountain play. Like it is a crystal dungeon. I mean, it's reasonable. It's a full clearable crystal dungeon. It's 5 items. 5 items. No, 6 because we can do ether tab. So it's 6 items that we can get
Yeah,
to on
that's
that part
actually a
of the
good
mountain.
amount.
So yeah, I like this. And then you still have Pod Eastern afterwards. If you get a bow,
Just the
then it
map
makes it
today.
better. If we get a hammer, it also makes it better.
Yeah, hammer, please. This is the specific reason why Mid Stark World feels awful, because we also have a couple chests in ice. We've got Pod Eastern.
Yep.
I really like
Hammerless
doing
Pod, I don't
Saha
mind.
before, like, sooner than this, honestly.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily,
There
but at
hasn't
least
been
Saha. I don't
there
know.
hasn't been a natural time to do it at this point. So unless you're someone that's going to prioritize that, like it sounds like you are, it's hard to find a good time to do it.
I mean, it is sort of a joke. Our team name is Beats from the East, and
Mhm.
rushing Eastern area, whatever is part of our shtick. But no, really, I do think that like Saha is one of those places that's not that slow for 3 items.
Mhm.
Just if you just do it real quick.
Is this our first bottle? Apparently this is our first bottle, and it's a blue bottle. So hey, actual usefulness. Too bad we have no real reason to go back to Kakariko anytime soon until we get a flute. Okay, let's see what our ether tab has for us. Nothing. That poor single arrow. Now, if the small key, if we get a small key, we're gonna have to actually do cutscene. We can't skip tile room here unless Hookshot
Yeah, for
decides
sure.
to show up. We only get a map.
Get a map.
I mean, if this is a small key, I might. Yeah, we're so thin on things to do. I probably would just go get the big key anyway.
Oh
Honestly.
yeah, absolutely.
Because we got a map
You came
here,
all the way
so,
up here,
you know.
like you're looking for something up here.
Yeah, 2/3. You're gonna leave something in the big chest if you don't. So it kind of feels better. It doesn't feel quite as bad if you don't have a hook shot. You just have to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And Ahab is gonna route Ice Rod Cave back in here, so that's kind of good. I mean, there was nothing here, so it doesn't matter. But it'll be one less
Yeah,
thing that he
I
has
don't
to
even
think
remember
about.
what was here.
I don't even think I saw. It was junk for sure. There you go, 10 arrows.
Oh, cool. Now we're back at 30, up from 30.
Let's see where he goes next. We'll save a little bit of time by using that boomerang on the last tile there.
Nice. Oh, careful there. Get the magic refill, and we're good. We got the mirror, so this makes it a little bit nicer.
It's kind of funny, DT going out of his way to get that magic refill, where magic doesn't really do a lot in this dungeon, but I always do the same things. Does only have 2.5 hearts, so you just we have to just be aware of that. This will be should be a pretty easy Moldorm. We got a master sword. Just make sure your swings are your sword spins are spins and not pokes.
Yeah, so it's what, 3? Yeah, 3 spins, right? It's Master
Yep.
Sword's so weird on this boss that you think like, oh, Fighter Sword is 6. No, Master Sword is also 6. Like, okay.
Yeah, the way they coded the Light World bosses was like they really wanted to make sure that Master Sword didn't help you, even though in order to get Master Sword early, you had to do all sorts of things that they probably didn't know existed at the time. It was like they were ready for a randomizer, right? We're gonna make sure that Master Sword doesn't help you
Yeah,
on
exactly.
these bosses. They were thinking about it, 30 years ago.
It's this game, like I swear, this game kind of feels that way sometimes, where it's just like there's so many things in it that feel like, this was meant for This game was like meant for randomizer.
It really
there we
was,
go. Second
yeah.
item.
I mean, I could use the old Super Metroid joke is Deer Force knew, but Deer Force didn't do
Deer
this
Force,
game.
yeah.
Deer Force knew.
That's funny.
Okay, so without a hammer or a hookshot, we can't do anything else. So I think we're probably gonna see Pod Eastern at this point. Unfortunately, getting to Pod Eastern kind of sucks when you don't have a hammer. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Both runners are doing this. Really, we're hoping to get one of hammer or bow. Hammer would help because then you don't have to go all the way to this one portal that you can use without hammer in the entire game. I mean, there are two others, but they don't get you anywhere else.
Yeah, I suppose you could go to Ice Palace if you feel so inclined.
You can't get out. Actually, you're right. There's three others, but none of them get you anywhere. Ice Palace
Yeah.
only gets you Ice Palace. The Mire one only gets you the Mire area, and the one in the mountain only gets you stuff on the mountain. So, not much you can do with any of those.
Did DT check Cicade? No, he's doing that now.
No,
Maybe?
I think that's probably coming up right now.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, hammerless Ice Palace is a choice. Hammerless, hookless Ice Palace. I mean, not that you need a hookshot for Ice Palace, but there's enough things hookshot locked logically that it's potentially one less item you could find there.
Yeah,
you do have Canis Samaria, so so you have Canis Samaria, so it's not like the fact hookless hookless ice is not what it used to be, because Samaria with Icebreaker makes it pretty irrelevant, but. Logically speaking, if hookshot became our go mode, Ice Palace is not the first place I like to look because of the hook logic. But yeah, DT running as fast as he can to get over to Pod Eastern, and we'll get that. We'll finally get the Saha check, the classic 46 minute by the time he gets there Saha check.
Yeah, but not doing Pyramid Fair. I guess you would have if you were comfortable.
Yeah, I think he would have done it.
You would have done it when you checked Pyramid.
I think he would have done it earlier if that was the priority. It's got to be in the back of his mind, and it's something that comes up so rarely. Some people I like to keep a darkroom map always available.
Oh yeah, mine's still up. Like when I play, it's like I have my chat window when I stream, and the other tab on the chat window is
I'm not doing pod without my map. The other one I won't do without the map is if Aga Tower ever becomes a thing to do without a lamp, which really in a non-entrance mode, the only way I would consider. Oh, there's the hammer. Oh, there's the hook shot.
Oh my god, really? See, does any Saha rushers in chat? Oh boy.
Wow, and they're both gonna get there at some point, and DT is like, oh my god, my opponents had this for 40 minutes. There are runners that I know for a fact their MO is in casual boots. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rush and I'm gonna do Saha right away. And
I mean
and you know what?
That came up early, right?
Yeah, it gives us a full clearable Ice Palace. We got a full clearable Swamp Palace, so you know what? We can wait a little bit longer before we have to worry about that bow.
Yeah, and we have a million things on the mountain now. This is insane. All of a sudden, we have infinite things to do.
Yeah, I mean, Ice Palace, with Icebreaker, you just do it. It's a very fast dungeon. The better question is, do you go to Swamp after this, or do you go to the mountain density and hope to maybe be able to go mode Swamp? Because right now, all we need is a bow, and there's two of them.
Yeah, honestly, for me, I'm going to. Well, I like this play in Ice.
Yeah, Ice first here for sure.
Mountain has 16 checks that take 2 minutes. So fast to get a ton of stuff done.
You know, and I'm also one that likes to avoid the left side swamp decision as long as I can.
Exactly. Yep.
So yeah, I would. For me, yeah, I would do mountain first. But you know, other people will make other decisions. We'll see what DT does. We'll see if Ahab does a similar routing, goes and gets his hammer and hook shot, and then
Yeah.
goes and see if he goes straight to ice.
Yeah, pretty nuts. That was just sitting there the whole time. So okay, so the real question now: when do you do Pyramid Fairy?
You can do it anytime you want. Probably after, whenever you do swamp, I would do it after swamp.
Yeah. Well, it just feels so awkward because, like we were talking about earlier, the seed was kind of sequencing you into it super early. Not that means there's something there, but it just like, the earlier
if you
something's in
do
logic, the more
half
likely,
magic
right?
in one of the two dungeons that you
Ooh,
like to
nice.
have extra magic most, and that's this one. When you have Fire Rod, Cold Stare, like he won't if he chooses, he could just do a full on Fire Rod, Cold Stare now, because you'll have 8 shots left and with splash damage. Or you can if you have sword beams and dupe the shots, you can even do it better than that. That's super nice to get that there. And big key and iced tea, because why not? But yeah, I could see the argument of doing Pyramid Fairy before Swamp if you do the mountain first, and again, trying to avoid that left side Swamp decision.
I just always think that way. Like, if you're finding stuff and you're almost in go mode and you have a bunch of dungeons, you have potential to go mode. Pick the quick ones. Like ice, you save. I think I timed it once. It's like a minute and a half or so to go mode versus not with Samaria. Maybe it's
Yeah,
not. You
with
save about a minute
Icebreaker,
and a
it's
half to 2 minutes.
huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference. Like
So
yeah, I don't know if you were around before we had Icebreaker, but yeah, pre-Icebreaker, like no one wanted to go into ice until it was promo. It was like we have to go into ice now. No, don't make us do it.
yeah. No, I actually started playing because of the Link to the Past Switch port.
Okay.
I saw a video of how to do Icebreaker, and I'm like, I could learn this on the Switch port, and I tried it out. I'm like, oh, I can actually do this. Let me go download the game now.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of funny too because we tend to think in terms of all these glitches are only available in the Japanese 1.0, and that's just not true. There are enough glitches that it matters that we use the Japanese 1.0. Like I believe I want to say Waterwalk might be. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I
I think the
know
water
the Faithful
glitches
versus
take forever.
one. You know, there's plenty of them. Spin speed, item dashing, that kind of stuff. But like Icebreaker, no, you can do that just fine on any version. It
Yeah,
works just
I
fine.
learned Icebreaker and Diver Down, and then I
Yep,
was like,
both
okay,
of
I
those
know
work.
I know all the cool glitches because they had
Yeah,
just
there
come
you
out
go.
like a week earlier, and I'm like, I know all the cool glitches. I can play this game now and beat everyone, right? Like that's how that works.
Okay, so DT disagrees with us. He's going. This looks like it's Swamp House. Now maybe he does Pyramid Fairy first, but I suspect if you were thinking in terms of doing Pyramid Fairy first, you might be thinking in terms of doing Mountain first. So
Yeah,
let's
I
see.
mean, this is totally
This is,
reasonable too
I
because
mean,
this is
yeah,
always do crystals, whatever
yeah, and
the
you know, I expect to
thing
see
goes.
him rush the back and only go with the left side if he chooses to after clearing the dungeon. Because go -1, typically you rush the back. So
Yep,
we'll
for
see.
sure. So do you think Ahab's gonna find his hammer and hookshot? Do you think he's like, well, I might as well just do pot Eastern dip now, right? Or does he
Depends
be
on,
like, oh crap, I have like a million crystals I can beat?
it's one of those things where I could see still going into Pod Eastern, especially if you think you're behind,
Yeah,
and you want to try and do something that you think your opponent wouldn't do. And both runners have to feel behind. Like
for sure. Based on
hammer
doing,
hook
they both
shots
did
right
two.
here.
Yeah, they did 2 Dark World entries from the
Yeah,
Myths portal, which
this
that
we
is
had.
that is a lot of extra time.
Yeah, we had Sphere 1, hammer and hook shot, just sitting there waiting for
And
us.
Myths and Mirror. Oh, I
And
guess not Mirror. Mirror was
everything.
a little deeper.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, you're right. Like we had everything available, just ready to go. And there's the hammer.
Yeah,
Not happy.
there's some rage
Shot.
slashes.
Not happy. Yeah, I'll take that heart though, happily.
He's not saving and quitting, so this could be it. No, we are saving and quitting.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
thought he might. I thought he might do it, honestly.
Yeah, and you know, we started this whole race by saying we have had a rash of Bollock bows in pod
Yeah.
or behind
Oh,
pod this week so far, like at least 3 or 4 of them, you know. Um,
yeah, and oh, here we go. We got some
yeah, we
real
got some
divergence here.
divergence.
Oh, this is so exciting. This is like
Yeah.
the most exciting. Oh,
No,
okay.
what? No.
Just
Oh,
kidding. This isn't exciting. Okay,
oh, it
everyone,
was. I was excited because it's
pack it
lots of
up. I know
items.
it was so cool.
So many items. Okay, I haven't been paying close enough attention to see if DT has gotten either a big key or a map compass.
The map
Um,
was in the first chest. This is actually the second chest because
okay.
of Swamp Palace things.
Yep. So,
Uh,
yeah, he's got to rush the back, right? No? No?
DT says no.
I am not a fan. Go -1. I'm rushing the back every time, and I don't like to do this first without a big key. I mean, we're guaranteed that there's going to be some sort of item, but any time save you get from doing this first is lost if you have to go back in to check the big chest because the big key's in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, it could just be on the left side, in which case, going back in is more painful because, you could have like, oh, hey, 1 item left, but it's could be a big key to get to the big chest. That does happen.
I do wonder too if like you were saying earlier, feeling a bit behind finding the last 2 items that they both found.
Mhm.
If DT is kind of like, let's do this now because if I miss something, then maybe my opponent skips this or something. Maybe
yeah.
he's in a hurry to find go mode.
So Ahab going to swamp and not ice. So this could be a Let me do the thing that I don't think my opponent is gonna do. Let me do let me do the worst crystal dungeon because maybe my opponent went and did ice first.
I wonder too if he oh, there's a red rupee. I wonder if he didn't realize the whole 1 item from go mode scenario when he started going up Death Mountain. Another red rupee.
Hey, we got 20 more rupees. Let's go. Left side swamp. Friends don't let friends do left side swamp. I like to joke. But here we are. Hopefully the big key is just hanging out in the big chest, and both runners will be able to just skip that entirely. Or we still have whichever. You said map in the first chest, so we still have a compass that could be in the big chest too. So that wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, that's actually the best outcome. Either the big key or the compass, right? We find what 3 more items here.
Yeah, and it's a very this is one of the more polarizing item locations. But I'm watching during the tournament last spring. I saw all 4 iterations: lose because do left side swamp, lose because you don't do left side swamp, win because you do left side swamp, win because you don't do it. Like, they all can happen. So there is not a right answer to this.
Oh, definitely. It's one of the more interesting things too, because depending on who you ask, what I've noticed is everyone gives you an obvious answer, quote unquote, obviously you do. And it's like, well,
there's no obvious.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I do believe we have not gotten either the compass or the big key, so I think we're good to go for the back of the dungeon. Yeah, chat's saying there is a right answer. You just don't know it until you do it. That's fair. Also, I keep seeing the question on what Ahab's sprite is. I have no idea. So if anybody in chat knows, let us know. We'll have to ask him after the race. It's probably from some video game that I have not played. And there are many. And of course, we are now seeing why it sucks to not have at least Tempered Sword on this fight. Got 3 nice fire rod shots in there, but it still needs to get... Okay, now get that sword spin. We'll do it.
All right. Argus Town.
Okay, so now... I mean, if you're doing Swamp here, I imagine you do Pyramid Fairy before you do the mountain. If you did Swamp here. Other option, again, being going into Pod Eastern. Nope, not doing Pyramid Fairy. Okay, well... this mountain? This is mountain. We got lots of checks here. We have the possibility of being coaxed into Turtle Rock. That's good. You know, that's going to be an interesting question if Turtle Rock is Quake. Do you go into Turtle Rock looking for a bow before checking Eastern?
I mean, if you came all the way up here, I probably would. That's a tough question because you also know Pet is dead, but also you know Turtle Rock's green pendant, and so if you find like a flute or a mushroom, it's just like, ugh, what do you do?
Of course, you don't have an ice rod, so you can't actually get that green pendant. Of course, the ice rod could just show up here somewhere.
This seed has really been like shoving progression in our face every 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, to be fair, it tried to give us progression really early with that hammer and oak shot.
Yeah,
we just chose not to get it.
Oh, wow.
2 more bottles. Wow, we have now 2 blues, which is nice.
Yeah, it's actually kind of hilarious. Yeah, we found 3 bottles all on the mountain, and then Sick Kid had like $300 or something.
Yeah, something like that. And let's see what order DT decides to do this in. Some people like to do Spiral Cave and then do an extra loop. There really isn't a nice way to route this for this to get everything. There's also, you know, you probably want to open up the Dark World from here. Oh, there's Bombos.
Oh,
that's not what you wanted to see. Okay, come on, chat, everybody. We want ether. We want ether. We want ether for this entrance, you know, so we don't have to think about it.
It's gonna be Bombos and then flutes and TR and then, no, this is kind of a.
It is Bombos. Oh my goodness, it's so bad. I mean, you have to go get it, right? You have to, and
I honestly think you do.
Yeah, I think you have to
You've
get.
already said no to Pot Eastern, so you're not. You know, it does like. I don't know. I actually, I hate to say it, I do like dipping Pot in this scenario to look for a bow.
Yeah, me too.
Just because it could be bow locked. Even if it's not the bow you're supposed to find, there could just be one.
And your excuse could be that I have to go through all the process of mirroring and doing all that stuff to get, you know, to deal with that Bombos. We're probably going to be orphaning Spike Cave here, because trying to do Spike and Spiral is going to be very difficult. Could just save and quit and do so. I'm always of the mind that you do Spiral if you have to choose, because Spike is a lot easier to get back to.
Oh, agree, 100%. Yeah, especially with the save and quit, you just kind of walk to Spike. It's a lot less slow than people give it credit for. It's like the worst check ever. No, it takes about a minute.
It's an annoying check, but it's not too bad. Okay, so Hookshot Cave has nothing. We haven't found anything on the mountain other than that Bombos.
Yeah, good job, Ahab, not going to the mountain.
We still have Spiral Cave and Spike Cave, so there's still 2 more items. And of course, we have Turtle Rock, which we can basically full clear, except for, you know, whatever's on Trinex in that green pendant.
Yeah, and okay, getting that Bombos is committing to going into TR at this point. Like, you don't go all the way to get it and then be like, all right, I'm gonna go check Pot Eastern, right?
Yeah, he's going in. Yeah, he's going in.
All right. I feel like we've called a few memes on the seed on accident early. You know, hey, we should do Saha early. I bet there's a bow in TR. We definitely said a couple dumb things that are starting to come to fruition.
They sure are. Okay, so we're gonna go into he's definitely gonna go into. We'll see how far he goes into Turtle Rock, but I mean, with a fire rod, you'd rather not have a fire rod here because then you can just stop you pretty quickly. But you can go all the way to the ice rod only blocks exactly one location.
Yeah, exactly, and.
This is a 5 to 6 item
scary.
check.
This is actually, from my perspective, like if I'm DT, I'm nervous as heck going in here. Like,
for sure.
It's probably here, given where it is.
And then
you also have like the 6 checks in Eastern, and everything was in Sphere 1. So
yeah, you have the Eastern checks, you have the pod checks, and you know we've been seeing Bowlock bows in pod all week.
So yeah, League RNG today or this week.
Yep. Meanwhile, Ahab gonna go ahead and do Ice Palace now, which is, I think, the right call for him. Do that other crystal dungeon that needs to get done.
Yeah. Look for his bow here. DT did this. It's basically they did the same thing, just in a different order.
Yep.
All right, big key, small key.
Yeah.
Great layout if you're trying to.
Yep. TR likes to be front loaded. I mean, it's not the same kind of pod logic where there's a guaranteed 4 small keys in the front 6, but you do have to have a front loaded keys in TR to get through it. So this does not have to be a key though at this point since we got a small key already. But it could still be a key.
It's so good. I was like, or it could be a bow. Oh no, it's
no.
It's just a key. This is fine.
Okay, so I see a chat coming up with a chain of bow on Vidi, flute on Trinox, ice rod on Landmo, but we already know that Landmo has nothing because we got both items at Desert,
Yeah.
thankfully.
Luckily for the runners, that Sahabot's not at the whims of chat.
But I'm sure just change that ice rod to a slightly other. Oh, there's our bow. Well, that's it.
There's the
We're
bow.
done.
Okay.
Now DT is gonna go ahead and do pod Eastern. You can do it in whatever order he wants. I mean, most people will do pod first. Well, I guess without the flute, maybe not. I actually like Eastern first because then you can get your arrows back in pod.
Yeah,
but
no, I know what you're saying with because they don't have like an easy, quote unquote, easy way to beat Lamo. So the bow's the right way.
yeah, we don't have a fluke, so we don't save the mirror portal. We're gonna save and quit out of whichever one we choose to do second. So.
All right. So how do you feel when you're DT and you go into Eastern and you're looking for the big key and the first check you get is the silvers? Good.
It's not gonna
Bad?
be Easter. It's gonna be pod.
Yeah.
This week is taught us anything. There's gonna be a big key in the first room of pod because I've seen that 3 times at least this week, and then there'll be a bow. It's bad. No, I mean if you see, I would be very concerned. Yeah, if I go into Eastern and I find those silvers, yeah, I'm petrified. Like all these.
Everything was just
one.
in Sphere 1.
Yeah,
like,
everything
literally
Sphere
except
1.
for what the fire rod and the mirror.
Yeah, and mirror wasn't even that deep since you just had to go into a desert for it. And we got the book so early.
That was interesting though, just because that's with everything else in the seed, that's a very skippable mirror, in my opinion. They both kind of YOLO'd it.
Yeah.
Like, if you had done Minimal Realm Cave or wanted to do Dark World or done Saha early, like, when do you get the mirror? Oh, there you go.
There it is. Another big key in the first check of pod. That's at
Did
least
you find
4
the
times
silver's arrows in the Palace of Darkness?
Yeah, I mean that's what we had in the other seed I called today. It was literally, for those of you that I talked about this earlier, but for those of you that weren't here, as one player's picking up the silvers, or one player's in Ganon getting the hint, and then we were watching the other player finish up clearing pod and eventually finding those silvers. So yeah, this is just assume your big key is gonna be in the first check of pod, and everything's gonna be bow locked. Now we're not gonna see much else of pod because when the big key's there, you're gonna check if this is a small key, and one of these has to be. They're probably both small keys. You don't need any more, so we're not gonna see any more pod. But if the silvers are here, we will hear about it.
we'll learn and be sad and laugh at the same time. We'll chuckle. And so now we're even on crystals. Ahab has to either get his bow probably in pod or or go to Turtle Rock.
Looks like this is Turtle Rock. I keep oh wait, mountain, and then I'm like, oh wait, no flute, so this is actually mountain.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when players have the flute, you get fooled sometimes, like because you just always save and quit to the mountain with the flute because you just go wherever you go, unless there's a good reason. Like Link's house, once you have mountain access, and a flute, there's no reason to ever start a Link's house. Whereas Sanctuary does have a few things where you're better off starting there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. There's a few checks that you can get late game. Mirroring out is pretty quick. Get a refill and then go to Dark World, stuff like that. But yeah, so you got quick fast. That sounds really weirdly redundant to say out loud, but that's kind of what happened. It's just so weird. Like the seed had nothing to do. Like you weren't supposed to do anything in the seed except like King's Tomb and Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
And that desert thing was really only the hard play, but both of them made it like 15 minutes in. So
yeah. I mean, when you get the early book, it's a much easier play to make when you have boots and you have the early book, because Aegina is one of those locations that people don't like to go to.
Oh yeah.
Now Aegina is not orphaned all by itself. Ahab sees that bombos now.
Yeah, that was a really sick NMG Helma from DT. Getting 0 items in pod. We're done with pod. We got the big key, the small key, and the compass. Let's go.
Yeah, we have, and we're on Master Sword, so this could be a Master Sword Ganon time. We do have a cape. He's got like 2 bottles of blue, I think. So half magic, 2 bottles of blue, a cape. I don't care how bad you are; it's not that bad if you have that.
Oh, yeah.
Have those items.
So it looks like, by the way, Ahab is going straight to Bombos. He skipped like Paradox and everything. He might just go straight into TR, and he'll catch up a little bit, but he's still
save
a
a little bit of time.
behind.
Yeah,
yeah.
It would save him some time.
I think some of the choices, like DT doing left side first, in this race saved him a bit of time. Ideally, he didn't need to do it at all, but
yeah, because it's faster. It's faster doing left side first. He's not doing it at all.
Yeah. Just no, it's fine.
But yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah. Ahab gets his bombos. How deep are we gonna need to go for? Oh, there we go. There's the big.
Well, there we go.
I could see opening one more chest in Eastern.
Yeah, I mean,
the big chest is a little out of the way.
Silvers list,
you know what? I'm checking both. I'm checking both because Master Sword.
For sure.
I'm not going to the big key chest.
I could see like not doing it. Like some runners might just be comfortable enough to say this is fine.
But even the top runners
and blah blah blah.
But even the top runners are giving up. I don't care how good you are at Master Sword Silverless. You're still going to be slower than a bad tempered sword.
Yeah.
or Master plus Silvers. Like you're still going to give up time to that.
Yeah, I don't know the exact number. It's probably, I think it's around 2 minutes difference. That you could make up with either silvers or tempered, but I'm not exactly sure on that.
Okay, so, of note, Ahab opened up Turtle Rock, but is going to do the Paradox Cave checks first, which is reasonable, because you don't really want to go into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, if you don't have to. Or maybe you want to find the Ice Rod in Paradox, but...
I mean, it could.
Today.
We know it's. I mean, the Ice Rod could still be in Spiral or Spike Cave if he ends up there.
At the end of the day, he won't hate this because he will find a couple more bottles. I think he did find that earlier bottle on Spec Rock. I think he picked that up. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm assuming he did.
Oh, there you go. No more arrows for GT for DT. For GT for DT.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. Now, if we don't have to fight Ice Armos, it's not really going to matter because there are a few places you can pick up arrows. But
he has a shovel. Okay, literally no arrows.
One arrow. Use it well, DT.
Maybe you can get one of those
wisely.
headshots that goes through like three Zazaks at the same time.
Yeah, honestly, if he had a flute, I could see going and buying the arrow upgrade, but that's way too far out of the way without a flute. And really, he's probably still feeling behind because of the Sawhawk's Closet. So that's probably not on his mind right now.
Yeah, and we got 7 crystals on DT's side. We're heading into Gannis Tower. We got a couple people throwing some numbers here in chat. We got 22 locations where Gannis Tower Big Key can be before DT can beat the game. He needs to get that Big Key and climb the tower. So if you want to guess where that could be, go ahead and put your guess in chat. We'll try and shout you up.
Yeah, get the all important cred for choosing a number correctly.
That's right. For picking a random number correctly.
There you go.
So I think I've watched you come a bit, and you usually pick 5, I think it was.
Always go 5.
There we go.
And the trick is if you always use the same number, it's going to be right 1 out of 22 times. So
exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, Ahab left TR. Interesting.
Didn't get his bow.
Pyramid Fairy.
I mean, this is reasonable. There's another bow out there. You might find it.
Yeah, I always go 4 just because it's like a super mega ultra meme route. Potentially, if you go Hope Room or go left, get the small key, go to Hope Room and Tile Room, then it's 4. But no one would ever actually do that. But it's a funny reason to pick 4.
Now, did he do Spiral Cave or anything like that? Because he
did all of Death Mountain except 4 TR. He left.
Okay, did he do? Well, probably didn't do Spike Cave. I'm gonna assume because I don't know how you route that in. Maybe he did.
He did Spike Cave.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Okay, here we go. Not sure what DT's routing tendencies are.
Well, he's hoping at the moment. And it's not 1. And it's not 2.
Get a small key. Okay, not of the mind of I got a small key. I'm gonna go to the right. Meanwhile, is there a bow
Ooh, bug net.
in Pyramid Fairy?
I actually don't hate the bug net.
Oh,
I guess he has oh, there's another sword.
oh, the sword. That's nice.
It's kind of French vanilla because it's supposed to be in the left chest, but you know who's actually paying attention?
Well, I mean, I guess if you go by the NMG rando ROM, but like in actual NMG, there is no chest. So
Right, exactly.
well, in the meantime,
He's doing
DT is
pod.
up to 30 arrows. So
Yeah, he's doing pod. Are we gonna see? I mean,
he's
I
got
hate
two
to see it if
bottles.
it's
He's
the
gonna.
case
He's
of.
got. You gotta clip this. I mean, if you're gonna do
Yeah.
pod, you have to. The problem
there
here.
it is.
Oh wow, a fire bar room. You don't see that every day.
1, 2, 6, 7.
6, 7, 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Who had 7? We have a 17 and we have a 17, so no 7s. That's too bad. We have a tie between myself, Delia, and Chelsea, but with 6s and 8s.
Mm.
I'll call that a tie.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Oh, Nubis Beat had a 7. It was just later in the chain of.
Ah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
I'm
I thought
sorry.
about it, and people often go, "Oh, we need to do prices right rules," but then you're incentivized to always go lower, which maybe is a good thing because we don't really want to see a 22, but
Yeah.
Okay, so Ahab gets
There's
that
the
big
mirror. Is he
key,
leaving?
and yeah, I
He's
mean,
leaving.
we've been joking all seed about the Bollock bows and pod, but realistically, you really can't be if that's the only thing you're looking for. It doesn't make sense to stay in a Bollock pod. Eastern, on the other hand, we did not see the big chest. We did not see the big key chest. So I think there's at least one item still in here that we didn't see. Meanwhile, DT into the gauntlet. Still on that Master Sword, so I do expect he will be checking the top 4 chests in hopes that he finds that 4th sword, which would for him be the 3rd sword, or silvers. Like silvers makes a pretty big difference too.
Yeah, either one saves about the same amount of time. I want to say because it's really just about that last cycle. Is okay, you save a little bit getting a 1 and 1, but that last cycle and getting in with the 24 spins, just
for sure. Using almost all of his magic, but we got a lamp, and we can grab there's a magic pot here he can grab, or not grab if he so chooses. He's got the blue bottle. He's fine. Yeah, I think you might have to use the blue. Maybe not. No, there's a couple of pots here. No, he's gonna use the blue.
Yeah. I guess if you pick up the pot, you don't really need to if you have a lamp, but just you have.
He didn't have. Yeah, he had so little left though.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of just always using lamp here and never using fire rod. So unless I don't have a lamp.
I used to only use the fire rod just because of the movement felt cleaner, and then I kind of learned that it's a little bit faster to use the lamp correctly.
Yeah, and in fact, in NMG where we don't have quick swap, it was discovered that it is in fact faster to use the lamp because you don't have to there's like a menuing issue.
Oh yeah. Novo and Eastern. Okay, Ahab, go to pod. You're here. You have to go to pod, right?
Nope. I mean,
nope.
I don't think you go to pod here. It will be funny
if I walked all the way there. I think I would, but I'd feel bad about it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, with pod Eastern, your only other choices, I would have been doing more of TR or any of TR.
All right, here we go. Last Moldorm down. Last chest of the game has a piece of heart.
Okay, so we're gonna see a Master Sword Silverless from DT. Strap in. It still has a cape, still has half magic, still has an extra bottle of blue, so it has quite a few safeties to go with him.
Yeah, with the cape, mail upgrade, 14 hearts is a lot for.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah. Like good spoiler runners get like 5-6 hearts with a blue mail. Not even a blue mail sometimes, and still do, you know, if they're forced to, Master Sword. But this should be okay.
Oh, here's a location.
It's not going to feel great. It's going to suck, but you know, it's not terrible either.
Hammer pays with 50 roots.
Rip.
Now I want to see where these silvers are. There's a lot of GT left to look at in the basement. Turtle Rock has more checks. Meyer has checks. Of course, who knows where the flute is? So... And Ahab gonna head back over to Turtle Rock. It looks like.
Yeah. I think might actually be the only thing he has left. Besides Spy Cave.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Gets the nice double. Gets the early trident catch. Oh, but gets the extra spin there, so gets 6 total.
Let's see some Kane strats.
That's 9, and we're gonna get easy here if you want it. Oh, I think. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, he's doing it from the left. I've actually never seen Kane strats from the left. It's you're usually inside the circle of bats, from what I recall. Oh, this is great positioning. You can finish it off here, I think.
With the cape, yeah.
Yeah, so with that blue goo, a second blue goo on hand, this should be pretty much nothing left. And there we go. So solid, I think 3 and 2, which is pretty standard with Master Sword. Unless you do, you know, super mega gaming strats to get faster cycles. Alright, so looks like Ahab's getting that. Oh, we're about to find out. Oh, in my tower. Okay, well, this was the only bow.
Yep, had to go to Turtle Rock.
Oh, he missed the torch glitch.
Oh, that's bad. I mean, you could do this. Like, it's not like it can't be done. Yeah. Fun fact, my first 2 Master Sword Silverless Ganon fights, I missed torch glitch.
Ooh, yeah.
So I know how to deal with a missed torch glitch, but it sucks.
Yeah, it's definitely something you can get through. Feels bad, especially when you might feel behind with, like we were saying, where the sphere 1 items.
Yep.
But he's got a very nice rhythm going right now, though. Yeah. So I think he's gonna get 2 at a time with lamp only, which works out. He has plenty of magic to get through this.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job with it. It's really hard to get even doubles with lamp only.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, it's possible to get a triple with Fire Rod only if Ganon cooperates properly. My guess is he's probably going to, at some point, be far enough along that he'll switch to Fire Rod.
Yeah.
But may milk this lamp for all it's worth for now.
Ooh, that one was like right at the edge.
Yeah,
that was kinda cool.
I think I would have waited on the blue there. Actually, I kind of like this doing the Fire Rod into the lamp shot. That works too, because that'll save you a little bit of magic and give you a chance to go a little bit faster.
I think, I don't know the details. Oh, there we go. Ahab has his bow now in go mode at 1 hour 21:30. But I think if you light both torches at the same time, you get like a reverse torch glitch where it like doesn't know it's lit or something. So you got to be a little careful of firing the Fire Rod shot first.
What can happen is, and I've had this happen to me, is it'll look like the torch is lit, but it's not. So you can still light it, but you have to actually light it.
Okay, so it doesn't actually ruin the fight.
Yeah, so the first time it happened to me, I thought, oh wait, I can't do anything. So I went and fell down. And then I later found out that, yeah, you have to, it just looks like it's lit even though it's not, so you can still light it. Cool. I don't know if there's another version that doesn't allow that, but you know, once I learned that was possible, that was when it happened the next time I tried it and it worked out.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, actually, so that's good information. Now I know if I ever do that, then I will be okay and just have to light the torch that's already lit. Oh, going for the triple. I like it.
In the meantime, I have no idea when. I can't even count.
Yeah, there we are.
It's like, there we go.
All
That's
right.
24.
Yeah, everybody get ready to get your GGs in chat for In the Name of DT.
And he's going to finish up with an official race time of, come on, Bridge, 1:22:55. Putting WJPDTB up to 9 points for the season. And Ahab is going to call it a night. I don't blame him. He's got a lot of game yet to play to finish this up. So we'll call it a night for him. Did get to go mode at least, so there's that. And joining us is In the Name of DT. GG's.
Hey, good evening. GG's.
Hello.
So, so how far behind did you feel when you got Hammer and Hookshot, Sphere 1, Saha?
Honestly, not super, just because of like Mitts and Pearl Dark World access being so early, and like everything in the Dark World being available like super early. Like, I don't think that going over to Saha early is ever a bad idea, but I didn't think it was going to be too likely in this one, so
For sure.
it was one of those like, well, if Ahab did go there, oh well. But
Yeah.
if not,
Yeah.
also,
In fact, he did not. I mean, we all know that there are people out there that will rush that check in casual boot seeds. Fortunately for you, you were not playing one of those people, so it worked out well for you. But yeah, there was a lot of interesting little bits in here. Turns out the only bow was that one in Turtle Rock. And by then, he didn't have a whole lot left that wasn't Pot Eastern.
No, and I had to decide, like, I mean, if Saha's Closet had, especially not had the hook, like, I would have absolutely dipped Pot Eastern. Although I guess I think if it was just Hammer, I probably would have still bailed and gone to Ice, just for a beatable crystal, but...
Sure.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That was... I said some things when I got both of those items, though.
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah, and of course, all week, we were joking a lot about this, but we've had several Bowlock bows in pod this week. Or in one case, a Bowlock bow that was behind a bunch of things in pod. It was quite the chain earlier today. So, it wouldn't have been unreasonable to think that, hey, maybe I score a bow in pod, but no, I think if you're only looking for bow, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to go in there.
Yeah, a lot of items.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry too. It's so hard to not talk over people. But it's what was I gonna say? I don't know. I had to go somewhere to find the bow. That was pretty much it. And it was like, I'm gonna go find it, and then luckily I did.
Yeah, and there was a point in time where it was like you'd done Ice. It made sense to do Ice. Ice is such a quick dungeon now with Icebreaker. Then it became, do you do Swamp or do you do the Mountain with all its checks first, and both of you chose Swamp. Of course, Swamp had nothing before heading up.
My beatable crystals.
Yeah? So yeah, no consideration doing the Mountain before Swamp Palace?
No, 0 from me.
All right. Also welcoming in Ahab, GG's.
Yeah, good game. Sorry for being late. I had a baby issue. My wife
Oh,
came
no.
in.
Oh yeah, Dad
GG's
% comes first. So no worries there. But I mean, this ended up be a tough one. You were still behind. This isn't what cost you the race or anything, but yeah, you got to Turtle Rock a little bit later and chose not to go in.
Yeah, I chose 2 crystal dungeons to dip, and it was the wrong decision. But I still felt behind. When I found the hammer and the hook shot in Sphere 1, I'm like, oh crap.
Yep. That was. The game wanted to give us all the things early, and you all just didn't want to take them. But yeah, I mean, the early mitts, you both got your mirror out of desert early. There is a world in which you don't follow that book necessarily, so mirror could have been pretty late as well.
A couple different decisions in mirror would have been go mode easily in this scene.
Yeah, that I think, and not to say I would have done differently or whatever, but just probably the most surprising routing decision I saw from both runners was going into desert before Dark World. Because in your case you did the dam to left, which I actually like that play. I thought it was cool. because it's like, hey, it's a pendant, might not need to do anything, but just pop in, grab some items. And then Ahab did mini Moldorm Cave and went full left. And both choices, I was kind of like, this could be very interesting. Let's see what's here. And then boom, the mirror shows up. I was like, wow, both runners had this early, and that was like probably the most surprising thing calling this race was seeing both of you just go for that instead of it being last location versus other things.
The book's always tricky. I always follow it, so that's just me.
I mean, if you're gonna get a book, it's better to get it early.
Yeah. For me, I was thinking like with Desert being a pendant, and I can't beat it, there's a lower chance I'm going to need to come back. If it's a crystal and I can't beat it, then I know that it would pretty much automatically be a double dip. So, I don't know, and I feel like kind of taking risks like that early on is fine, and that's why like I went to go and check the shovel right away as well, because it's like I found the mirror, maybe my luck can keep going a little longer. But
yeah, no, I like it. It was cool.
Yeah, we did find some fetch. We never found the mushroom, but yeah, we got that. We both did the powder check in an interesting way with the dragging the smith to the actual powder. You see a lot of people drag the purple chest there, so that was a little bit different too. Kind of cool.
It's so awkward to route that like really efficiently, because like if you had gone like purple chest into Magic Bat, I mean, would have wound up skipping out on like K45 and Stumpy for a moment since we didn't have hammer access anyway. It was weird. I gotta say though, one thing I was legit worried about, I was actually really happy to find the hammer. I was actually seriously worried about like Aga being required to get like hammer out of Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, we talked about that.
Yeah,
that is definitely a topic of conversation. I mean, obviously, I don't know if either one of you know how to bomb dupe if it came to that.
Not good at it. But yeah, that went
would
through
you
my
have tried
mind.
it?
I would have tried it. Yeah, I'm here to have fun.
I don't know if your definition of fun might not be the same as mine.
I mean, half my routing was meme, so you know.
And and you know, we for a second, you know, on that Pyramid Fairy play, we dismissed Aga as a possibility when we saw the lamp on the on Lake Hylia Island. And like, wait, no, that doesn't stop Aga from blocking being the logical way of getting to Pyramid Fairy. So that was definitely an interesting, you know, okay, so Pyramid Fairy is now in logic because we got a lamp on Lake Hylia Island. So we have flippers putting Pyramid Fairy in logic.
Yeah, that was really funny to see early. So Ahab, we have been wondering, everyone in chat wants a confirmation, but what is your sprite today?
It's a Jasp. I picked it like 4 years ago. I just used it the whole time. I like it because he has a flat top. And it's really good for lining up like Diver Down and all that. But
is he from something, or is it?
I think
he's a sprite that you thought was cool.
He's cool, but I think he's a Sonic racing character. I think.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
I have no idea who he is.
It's not one I've seen before.
Yeah, I just picked him like 3-4 years ago, and I'm like, I'll just roll with it.
I mean, once you get used to a sprite. Now, DT, you use the cursor sprite and sometimes the tile sprite, which are really fun to watch. But man, oh man, I don't think I could ever get used to using those.
That's what was on my screen the whole time. I thought I was playing a point and click game. I'm sorry. Invisible sprite.
There you go.
I love the cursor. It's been,
it's great.
honestly pretty much since it came out. Probably like 4 or 5 years now. It's just great.
Yeah, I love the bunny sprite for that too. The Clippy and pretty much everything about it.
Well, I always talk about with the sprites, the brilliance of the sprites isn't necessarily just the actual sprite. It's what you do when they're swimming or when they're bunny or when they're, you know, in their other, you know, movements. You know, that's the fun part of the alt sprites, in my opinion.
Absolutely. The ways that the sprite arts can give it the personality and like the finer details like that.
Yep.
Yeah, really
exactly.
So I guess this was game 1 this week between the two teams, right?
Yes.
Do you have another game 2 scheduled?
I believe
who's running
on the board.
I think it's Saturday.
Saturday's sometime this week.
JP and AFG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. AFG's over on SpeedGaming 3 right now, by the way.
Oh, is he playing cross keys?
Yeah, he's fighting Ganon in the Cross Keys Daily.
Oh,
okay.
nice. Yep. Yeah, Saturday at 8 o'clock. It looks like. So yeah. Well, good luck to your teammates on that one.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And GG's to both. This was it ended up being a pretty nice seed, and overall, nice 122 time. Get that bow and Turtle Rock. Which is something we joked about earlier because we were like, hey, no, Meyer and TR pendants, so therefore you don't need a red cane, right? There's probably just a bow and Turtle Rock. It's fine.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Happens
Yeah,
every time.
you did end up needing that red cane too, and not just for the GT big key either. Which actually you didn't need it for that. So.
And that TR key layout, it had me thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go all the way to Laser Bridge now since I'm getting all the smalls and the big.
I
up front.
mean, it was in the realm of possibility for sure. All right. Anything?
Where were their
either...
other swords? I'm actually curious.
We
about
know
that.
where one is. We know one was in Pyramid Ferry.
Yeah,
We did
I
not
got
find
that.
the other one. We do not know where the fourth sword is.
Got it.
Where
Yeah,
was the
but-
second bow? Was there a second bow?
Somewhere in GT.
Okay.
Yeah, the hint was GT. So GT basement, because I'm pretty sure GT you checked all the upper chests,
Yeah,
and with
Wasn't upstairs.
Big Key and Firebar room, you didn't get very far. So
No, I haven't seen a big key in that map chest in a long time.
that
Yeah,
is
right?
that is not a common one. That one, I mean, they're all supposed to be equal, but it feels like that one doesn't come up very often.
I think last time I saw a big key in that room was in an Invrosia practice, and of course, it wasn't actually the big key for GT. It was a different big key. So
Yep. That is the thing that happens with those wild big keys. Oh, all right. Anything either one of you wants to add before we close this out?
I got nothing else personally. GG's they had. It was, I mean, bow independent TR is like, it's not fun. There's so many easy decisions to make and then hard ones. And
Yeah, I mean, I took density, and it is what it is. I'm happy with the decisions I made. I'll do them twice, but
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
good game. Yeah, thanks to SpeedGaming, Beer, and Tracy for calming this. So definitely appreciate it.
All right. That's pretty much going to do it for us. First of all, I want to thank our runners. If you're not already following them, we'll put the command in chat, and you can click on the links and follow those runners. Homemade beer. This is the first time we've come together. That was a blast. Hope we get to do it again.
Yeah. No, it's funny because I saw that no one was signing up, and I thought I was going to be working all night, but turns out I got some free time, and I saw you signed up, and I was like, cool, first time with Tracy. This is going to be great.
Yep.
So,
It's good.
that
Yeah, we
was
had
super fun.
it lived up to it. So, and of course, we had Cassidy Moen on the tracking. Always our MVPs. Can't do it without our trackers. And of course, thanks to all of you out there and to Speed Gaming. And nothing else on the schedule tonight. First race. We don't have actual channel set up yet, so no guarantees. So keep a look out on the schedule. But the first race would be at 11 a.m. That'll be JKLOL versus Beats from the East. That'll be Radical Sniper 99 versus Jewel Ninja. And of course, several other races tomorrow. All need to be scheduled. All need to get channels, but I expect to see. There's 4 races total, so keep an eye on that schedule to see who's going to be on what channel. But yeah, so that's going to be it for us. Homemade beer. You want to close us out?
Yeah, just want to repeat everything everyone said. Thanks a lot for putting it on, the runners for running, and Tracy for jumping in with co-coms, as well as Cassidy for tracking. So I had a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to do this again. Hopefully we get to find a chance to com together again.
Absolutely. All right. Good night, everyone.